Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone. Oh, hi. Welcome back to Discovery Ranch. I'm Mr. Dawson, and I'm here to take you on Discovery so you can learn how to read and write. Join me here each day so we can go on discoveries together. And remember, as always, if you will write to me right here at the station at Valley PBS or email me, I will send you an activity book. That's right. It's chock full of stuff to do for you. So write to me today. Well, we have a lot of things to do, so we better get started. Today, our essential question, why? Because today is a reading and writing day. So we have an essential question. And here's the question. What do you see in the sky? High in the sky. There's lots of things in the sky. You can look at nighttime, and you look during the daytime, and you can see different things. It's amazing. I love to look at the sky at night and see all the stars and see the other planets. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I think that you're gonna like our story today for sure. The title of our story is Bringing Down the Moon. Its author is Jonathan Emmett, and it was illustrated by Vanessa Cabin. And the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures, and the author is the one that writes the words. This is the front cover, remember that? Here's the back cover, and then here's the spine. Yes, that holds the book together. Now, this book is a narrative book. Remember, there's two kinds of books. There's informational book that gives us a lot of information, and then there's narrative book that usually tells a story. This one is a narrative book. So it is going to tell a story, but like always, I want you to tell me at the end, is it fiction or nonfiction? And what are the clues that let you know? Remember, fiction means not true, not true. And nonfiction means, yes, it's true. Yes, so at the end of this story, I want you to be able to tell me if it was fiction or nonfiction, and tell me why. And also, remember, I am going to be asking you questions about the story to see if you really remember all the parts of the story. Yes, all right, so I think I covered everything. Remember, our story is called Bringing Down the Moon. And there's that mole I talked about, that silly mole. There you go. All right, are you ready to listen to the story? I am too. Let's watch this video. Bringing Down the Moon, written by Jonathan Emmett and illustrated by Vanessa Cabin. Bringing Down the Moon. Hot diggity, exclaimed Mole as he burrowed out of the ground one night. Whatever's that? The moon was hanging in the sky above him like a bright silver coin. Mole thought that it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Whatever it is, I must have it, Mole said to himself. I know, I'll jump up and pull it down. Thump, thump. Thumpity bump. Mole was so busy jumping he didn't think about the noise he was making, and he woke up Rabbit in her burrow. Mole, said Rabbit, what on earth do you think you're doing? Hello, Rabbit, said Mole. I'm trying to pull down that shiny thing. You mean the moon? Asked Rabbit. So that's what it's called, said Mole. You'll never do that, said Rabbit. It's not as close as it looks. But Mole would not give up. I know, he thought. I'll get a stick and poke it down. He found a long stick and poked it up at the moon. Swish, swish, swishity swish. Mole was so busy poking that he tripped over Hedgehog in his bed of leaves. Mole, grunted Hedgehog. What are you up to? Hello, Hedgehog, said Mole. I'm trying to poke down the moon. You'll never do that, said Hedgehog. It's not as close as it looks. But Mole would not give up. I know, he thought. I'll throw something at it and knock it down. He found some acorns and threw them at the moon. Plink, plink, plinkety, plink. Ouch, said Squirrel. Mole, have you gone nuts? Oh, hello, Squirrel, said Mole. I'm trying to knock down the moon. You'll never do that, said Squirrel. It's not as close as it looks. But Mole wanted the moon so badly, he would not give up. I know, he thought. I'll climb a tree and carry it down. Mole had never climbed a tree before. It was hard work, and he was scared to be so far from the ground. But he kept on going until he saw the moon resting in the leaves above him. Mole stretched out his paws, but just when he thought he had the moon, he slipped. Oh, eek, ouch, oh! Mole stumbled down and landed splash in the middle of a puddle. Hot diggity drat, thought Mole. I almost had it that time. Then he noticed something floating in the puddle beside him. It was pale and wrinkled, but Mole recognized it at once. The moon, whispered Mole. It must have fallen down with me. He reached out to pick up the moon, but as soon as he touched it, it broke into pieces and vanished. Mole sat in the puddle and cried. Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Squirrel came running up. Are you all right, Mole? asked Rabbit. I'm all right, sobbed Mole. But the moon isn't. I pulled it down and then broke it. And it was so beautiful, and now I'll never see it again. Oh, Mole, said Rabbit, you couldn't have pulled down the moon. And you couldn't have broke it, said Hedgehog. And you'll certainly see it again, said Squirrel. Look! High up in the sky above them, the moon was coming out from behind a cloud. Oh, whispered Mole, and it's just as beautiful as ever. Mole, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Squirrel stood and stared at the moon together. It is beautiful, said Rabbit. Very beautiful, said Hedgehog. Very beautiful indeed, said Squirrel. Yes, said Mole, but it's not as close as it looks. Did you like that story? That's a great, fun story. I enjoyed it myself. Okay, now let's talk about fiction or nonfiction. So what would you say the story? What is this story? Is it fiction or nonfiction? Right, it's fiction. It's fiction. Right. Why is it not? Why is it fiction? What was your clue? Yes, animals cannot talk. As soon as the animals talk, you know this story is fiction for sure. Okay, here are some questions. You ready? The first question I have is, what are some ways that Mole tried to get the moon? I saw 3 for sure. Yes, right. The first way is that he tried to jump up and down. He tried to jump up and down. And did he get it? No. But he managed to wake somebody up or disturb somebody. What was another way? Right. He took the stick and was trying to throw it. And did that work? No. That just disturbed another one of his friends. And what was the last way? Yeah, he was getting the acorns and trying to throw it. He was trying to throw it, and he missed the moon, and I think he got the squirrel. But did it work? No, it didn't. All right, that was good. Let me see another question right here is, where was the moon? Where was the moon when the mole thought it was broke? Where was the moon? Yeah, it was behind the clouds. That's right, it was behind the clouds. And then my last question, are you ready for my last question? My last question is, in the end, what does the mole realize? He realized the same thing that his friends were telling him all along. And what was that? Ah, the moon is not as close as it looks. The moon is not as close as it looks. That's right. That was awesome. You guys did so awesome on that story. Oh, you remembered so many things. And now we have to write. Are you ready? Here's our writing prompt right here. It says, what really happened to the moon? Do you remember really what happened to the moon? Yes, yes. It was hiding behind the cloud. So what I'll do is I'll draw a cloud. And then I'll kind of have the moon peeking behind. There it is. There's the moon right there. Do you see that? So our sentence starter is the moon. And what did we know about the moon? The moon was hidden behind the clouds. So now I have to write that. Are you ready? The moon was. That's a sight word. W-A-S. The moon was hidden. Hidden. What's the first sound in hidden? H. Hidden. E and N. Hidden. The moon was hidden behind. 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 Behind, oh, the clouds. The is a sight word. How do you spell the? We had it today or this week. Yes, T-H-E. T-H-E. The moon was hidden behind the moon, right. M-O-O-N. And I make sure I put a period because I have to have an uppercase, a period, and a noun and a verb. And there's our sentence. Here we go. The moon was hidden behind. The moon was hidden behind the moon? No. It was hidden behind what? The clouds, right. Well, Mr. Dawson. Yes, you have to. Sometimes we make mistakes. We make mistakes, and when we make mistakes, what do? We edit, we cross them out, and we put the right word. So, the sentence is, the moon was hidden behind the clouds. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Hey, by the way, I forgot one thing I wanted to say. Look, I have a letter from Lincoln, and guess what? Lincoln wrote to me a very nice letter. Thank you, Lincoln. I want you to know that guess what? You're going to get an activity book. It's coming to you. All right. Well, that's all we have time for today. We've done the book. We've asked some questions. We had so much fun learning about that silly, silly mole. Come back tomorrow because I'm going to have another story. All right? Thanks for being with me. See you later. A brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.